for the center and the radius of the circle is the center is going to be at 3, -2, and the radius is going to be the square root of 4, which is 2. In the second one, you're not shifting left or right at all, so the center is going to be at 0, 5, and the radius is going to be the square root of 10. For number 2, graph the circle. So first, again, find the center. It's at -1, 2. The radius is 3. So go to -1, 2, and go right 3, up 3, left 3, and down 3. So your domain is going to be the set of all numbers that for x. So going left and right, you're going from -4 to 2. So you can write an interval notation if you want, or inequality. I'm just going to write an interval notation. And the range is you're going from -1 all the way up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For the number 3, write an equation of the circle. So first I would find the center. The center is at 2, -3. The radius is going to be at 1, 2, 3, 4. So your circle is going to be x minus 2 squared plus y plus 3 squared equals 4 squared. 4 squared, 16. Okay, number 4, points A and B on a circle, and AB is a diameter. So here's a diameter. I know this isn't drawn to scale, but if A is at 1, 9, if A is at 1, 9, and B is at 2, -6, find the center. So for it to be the center and you're given the diameter, the center has to be the midpoint. So the midpoint of any 2 points is you're going to average the x's, and then you're going to average the y's. So your midpoint is going to be or the center is going to be 3/2 and 3/2. Okay, number 5, identify the focus and the directrix. So this is a parabola. I always draw a sketch of the parabola to show that in this case it's opening to the right. So your focus is going to be over here, and your directrix is going to be a vertical line. So I'm going to use the equation A equals 1 over 4c. So A is the coefficient right here. So A is 6. So if 6 equals 1 over 4c, I can multiply both sides by 4c and get 24c equals 1. So c is 1 over 24. And then now I have to look, if c is 1 over 24, this distance right here is going to be 1/24. And this distance from here to here is going to be 1/24. So my focus is going to be the ordered pair 1/24, 0. And my directrix is going to be a vertical line, x equals -1/24. Because I went left 1/24, and my vertex is at 0, 0. Similarly with this one, I'm going to draw a sketch first. So this is a parabola that opens down. So therefore my directrix is going to be a horizontal line, and my focus is going to be on this y-axis. So the focus and directrix, I'm going to use the relationship A equals 1 over 4c. So -1/8 equals 1 over 4c. C is 2 or -2. Whatever you look at it, C is a distance. So you could do the absolute value of A. I see people do it, or you can just ignore the negative, which I guess is absolute value. So this distance is 2. So if that distance is 2, the focus is going to be at 0, -2, and your directrix is going to be a horizontal line, y equals 2. Okay, for number 7, this time you're given a graph of a parabola. So if we have the graph, you can figure out what your c is, which is 3, and use the equation A equals 1 over 4c. So A equals 1 over 4 times 3, so A is 1/12. In order to use that, I'm first going to fill in the vertex of these parabolas are at 0, 0 because it hasn't been shifted. Now I know my focus is going to be 3, 0, And my directrix is going to be x equals -3. Remember, directrix is always an equation of a line. So my equation is going to be a right here is 1/12. So because this parabola is opening to the right, it's going to be x equals, and it's opening to the right, so it's going to be positive 1/12 y squared. And then number 8, the directrix is y equals 6. Actually, I can't see it. I gotta change this. Oops, I jumped the gun. So yes, my directrix is y equals 6. The vertex is at 0, 0. So the focus has to be at 0, -6. So again, I'm going to use the formula A equals 1 over 4c. I know that c is 6, so it's A equals 1 over 24. It's a parabola that opens down, so it's going to be y equals, and it's going to be negative because it opens down. So it's negative 1 over 24x squared. Number 9, this time you're given the focus and the vertex. So I draw a sketch. The vertex is at 0, 0. The focus is at 4, 0. This means the parabola must open to the right. So if it opens to the right, it needs to be of the form x equals ay squared. So to figure out my a, I need to do a equals 1 over 4c. Well, my c is a distance of 4. So this is going to be a equals 1/16 y squared. So a is 1/16. So my equation is going to be x equals 1/16 y squared. So it always helps to draw a sketch when you're given the parabola so you can figure out that people make mistakes with negatives and positives, so just take your time. Number 10, I'm going to draw a sketch again. So it's a parabola and the focus is at 0, -8. So that means it must open down because the focus has to be inside the parabola. The c is 8. So I'm going to use the equation a equals 1 over 4c. So a equals 1 over 4 times 8. So a is 1 over 32. And because it opens down, it's going to be y equals. So y equals negative 1 over 32 x squared. Okay, number 11. Write an equation for the set of all points in the plane that are equidistant from a point. That's a definition of a parabola. So a parabola is your focus. So your parabola is created because it's the distance between a focal point and a line that's constant, and that line is the directrix. So I'm going to draw this parabola out. Oops, so the vertex is at 0, 0. So this is just saying that we have to write an equation of this parabola. So we know that the c is 3. We know it's opening up to the left, so it's going to be x equals a negative a. And a we do 1 over 4c. So a equals 1 over 4 times 3. So a is going to be negative 1/12 because it's opening to the left, y squared. Okay, number 12. Write an equation for the graph that is the set of all points in the plane that are equidistant from the point 0, 2. 0, -2. So 0, -2. And the line y equals 2. So the vertex is going to be halfway in between. It's going to open down. My c distance is 2. So my equation is going to be y equals a. So I'm going to solve for a, which is 1 over 4 times c. So it's negative 1/8 x squared.